Oh, so I hear you've bought a house. Is that true? If it is, I'd be interested in living with you. The words came out of nowhere, my mother-in-law's voice floating through the phone, disturbingly casual. I could hear my sister-in-law giggling in the background, as if this entire situation were some inside joke. Did they really think I wouldn't notice? The idea of living with them had never crossed my mind, nor had I ever wanted it to. I thought Joe felt the same, but if they know about the new house, did Joe tell them? Are they assuming we'll all be under one roof? That thought chilled me, more than I cared to admit. Could Joe be plotting something with them behind my back? No matter, I won't let them have their way. If they think I'm someone to be manipulated, they've miscalculated. They'll soon realize I'm not so easy to control. After everything I've endured, I promised myself one thing: I will have the last word. My name is Kate Thompson. I'm 30 years old and work at a major financial firm. 3 years ago, I married Joe. We don't have kids yet, not because we don't want them, but because we made a conscious, mutual decision. We agreed to wait until our careers were stable, until we could offer our future children the life they deserve. Nah, we're almost there. Not long ago, I successfully led a high-stakes project and earned a well-deserved promotion. My income was already solid, but this step elevated our lifestyle. Around the same time, Joe received a sizable raise in recognition of his long service. With both our finances in a strong place, I brought up the topic that had been quietly growing in my heart. Joe, I think it's time. We've both reached a point of stability. Maybe we should think about buying a home. His eyes lit up. Really? I've been thinking about it too, but I wasn't sure if I should bring it up, since I haven't been promoted yet. That doesn't matter. We're in this together, and since I'm earning more now, I was thinking we could put the house in my name. He smiled. If you're okay with that, let's do it. The next weekend, we went house hunting, visiting model homes, sketching layouts, researching ideas online. It became our shared hobby. A construction consultant suggested we design the home ourselves, and though we weren't experts, we gave it our all. Everything was moving forward until the doorbell rang one afternoon. Expecting a delivery, I opened the door and frowned. "Mother," I said, "you didn't say you were coming." Without a word, she pushed past me, kicked off her shoes, and marched in like she owned the place. "I'm here, Joe." He looked up from the living room, startled. "Mom, what are you doing here?" I told Kate I'd be stopping by. Didn't she mention it? I stared at her, dumbfounded. Joe glanced at me, puzzled. "Maybe Kate forgot," she added with a smirk. "She's still young, but her memory's already slipping." "That's not true." Joe defended me gently. "Kate's juggling work and the house. Her plate is full." "You're too kind. Your father wouldn't have been so forgiving. Still, I respect Kate deeply," she said with a sugary smile that didn't reach her eyes. Joe, trying to redirect, asked, "So, what brings you here today?" With a pleased grin, she pulled a travel brochure from her purse and slid it onto the table. "I've always wanted to see Niagara Falls. Joe, won't you take me?" Joe blinked, caught completely off guard. "Wait, what? A trip?" "You could come too, Kate," she added sweetly. "Though I was thinking of going with Claire, but if Joe joins us, it becomes a family vacation." Claire, Joe's sister, was clearly in on whatever scheme this was. Joe tried to stay polite. "I'd love to, but I don't have time off, and besides, it feels odd to pay for a trip for you and Claire." "Nonsense. Spending money on family is a beautiful thing, right, Kate?" She turned to me with expectant eyes, daring me to disagree. I kept my voice steady. "It is when it comes from the heart, but forcing someone to pay, that's different." Her smile vanished. "Are you accusing me of trying to mooch off Joe?" she snapped. "That's not what I said," I replied calmly, "but it's how it's coming across." "Kate, that's awful." But I held my ground. Because this time, I wasn't going to let anyone rewrite the narrative, not her, not Claire, and not even Joe. "I didn't mean it like that, but now you're making me out to be the villain in front of Joe." I'm honestly shocked. "That's not what I was trying to do," I said carefully. "I only answered the question truthfully." "Oh, enough with the excuses. Why are you so cold, Kate? You must really dislike me, don't you? Her eyes narrowed into an icy glare, filled with accusation. This always happens when she visits. It starts with a smile, ends in some emotional outburst, and somewhere in between, she finds a way to ask for money, and not for survival but for indulgence, little shopping sprees, weekend getaways with Claire. Her idea of family spending is little more than dressed-up extortion. Sure, Joe gives them money sometimes, out of kindness, but that's his choice. It's different when they come demanding it. The truth, I've never liked his mother or Claire. Joe says they changed after his father died, that their sense of restraint disappeared with him. Apparently, his father kept a firm hand on their spending, but after he'd passed when Joe was still in high school, he burned through the life insurance like it was pocket change. Claire only works part-time, and their finances have been a mess ever since. That's why his mother keeps showing up with sob stories. Times are tough, or I need a break. I deserve a little trip, always with her hand out. Before we got married, Joe was completely under their thumb. He felt responsible for them, especially his mother. But ever since our marriage, something in him started shifting. He's begun seeing through the act. These days, even when they ask for money, he's trying to say no. That growth matters to me. Recently, he's even stood up to her directly, like the last time she said, "You don't like me, do you? Or, why should I accept such a dull daughter-in-law?" Joe didn't flinch. "Just because you're my mother doesn't mean you can insult Kate," he said. "She only answered your question honestly. You're taking her side now. I'm just telling you what I believe." "Unbelievable. Kate must have poisoned your mind. You used to be such a sweet child." "No one poisoned anything. I'm speaking for myself." His firm tone clearly caught her off guard. For once, she didn't have a snappy comeback. She bit her lip, mumbled "fine," and stormed out. Later, Joe turned to me, his expression apologetic. "Kate, I'm sorry you always have to deal with this. It's all right. You stood up for me. When the house is done and we move, let's keep our distance from them. No more drop-ins, no more guilt trips. If that's what you want, I'd really appreciate it." Our new place was far from our current apartment, twice as far from Joe's mother's home, and harder to reach with transfers and confusing routes. Without the address, she'd never find it. Perfect. We submitted our custom floor plan, and construction began. 6 months later, our $500,000 dream home was finally complete. As we packed for the move, I was sorting boxes when my phone rang. I put it on speaker. "Hello." It was her, and her voice was unnaturally chipper. "Kate, when are you moving? I heard about the new house. I've decided you want to live with you." I frowned. See, in the background, Claire was laughing. "That's perfect. Kate can do all the chores. Mom, genius idea." Do they think I can't hear them? Their scheme was obviously rent-free. Get waited on. Use our money. I had no intention of letting that happen. I thought Joe didn't either. But how did they know about the house? Could Joe have told them? "Joe," I called, turning, but it was already behind me. "I came to suggest a break," he said. "Was that Mom just now?" "Yeah, I was going to ask, did you tell her about the new place?" "No, but last time she visited, she saw the floor plan. She kept pestering me with questions. I tried to brush her off, but I guess she figured it out. I'm sorry, Kate. You don't want to live with her, do you?" "Of course not, especially after hearing that call. I think it's best we cut ties for good." I'd never seen him look so angry. Apparently, his mother had taken one glance at the layout and decided it was big enough for her. She'd started calling daily, fishing for details, how many rooms, what kind of facilities, when the move was happening. At least now I knew he was on my side. Then I could proceed. I told them the move-in date. That same day, she and Claire called again. "We'll come by your place in the afternoon," she said. "Take us with you, and arrange the movers for us too." Then she hung up. I had no plans to do any of that. On moving day, Joe and I had the movers come early. We loaded up, drove to the new house, and started unpacking. By 1 p.m., We were resting with coffee and sore arms. Our phones were buzzing with missed calls, dozens of them. She was relentless. She called me too, Joe said with a sigh. Then the phone rang again. I answered. Speaker on. Hello. Kate, where are you? I told you I'd be at the apartment this afternoon. You did, so what's the problem? No movers showed up. I waited and waited. I even came to your place. Nothing. Oh, that's too bad, I said flatly. I didn't arrange any movers. What? That wasn't the deal. Tell me where your new house is. I smiled. Did you really think I'd tell you? There was a long pause, then a shocked, huh? She must have assumed Joe would always fall in line, but Joe's not that man anymore. Nah, he stands beside me. Nah, I'm not staying quiet. And no, it's my turn. I spoke calmly but firmly. Let me make this clear, Joe and I have no intention of living with either of you. Please, from now on, stay out of our lives. What are you talking about? His mother snapped. Your opinion doesn't matter. It's Joe's decision. At the very least, tell me the address of your new house right now. I held my ground. And how do you plan on getting there if you don't even know where it is? This house is in my name. That gives me the legal right to decide who lives in it. If you try to force your way in, that's trespassing and I won't hesitate to call the police. Trespassing? How dare you? Is that how you speak to your husband's family? Then Joe's voice cut through the room like a bloody cold, sharp, and final. Family, he said. My father was family, but he's gone now. What's left isn't a family, it's a burden. Joe, how can you say that? I listened to that phone call. I finally had enough, honestly. Just sharing blood with you two is humiliating. From now on, my family is Kate and Dev. That's it. I no longer consider either of you family. Go. Don't say such things. You don't mean it. Don't contact us again, he said flatly. And with that, Joe ended the call. No hesitation, no emotion. He blocked their numbers with a few taps and set his phone down. I looked at him. Joe, are you sure? He met my gaze, steady and calm. Yeah, I finally see things for what they are. My mom wasn't supporting, Mesh was using me. And now that I've let go, I feel free. And he truly did. His whole posture had changed lighter, like a weight had been lifted. That was the moment we severed the toxic cords tying us to his mother and sister. Joe stopped supporting them completely, and without his help, their situation shifted drastically. Claire's part-time job wasn't enough to sustain them. My mother-in-law, after years of being a housewife, was forced into the workforce. She was awkward, inexperienced, and often clashed with co-workers. Life humbled her in ways she never expected. Meanwhile, Joan and I settled into a peaceful life in our new home. No more surprise visits, no more guilt trips, just calm, uninterrupted days. I'm deeply grateful to Joe for choosing me, for standing by me, and for having the courage to walk away from toxic family ties. Life will bring us challenges, know that, but we'll face them as partners, side by side, and that makes all the difference.